Welcome to the Fitness Professional Online Radio Show, where you get access to fitness industry news, tips, and insights from professionals around the world. Visit us at fitnessprofessionalonline.com. And now your host, Doug Holt.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Fitness Professional Online Radio Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, and I'm excited to be here with you today. We're back to a regular schedule. We'll be releasing new radio shows every Monday. We try to answer your calls here on the show, as well as bring you some of the freshest information in the industry. In this episode, we're going to talk to Doug Balzarini. He's got a great first name. Can't beat that there. For those of you that don't know Doug, let me give you a little background on him. Doug's been in the fitness industry for the past 14 years. He was originally from Massachusetts, where he earned his undergraduate degree in exercise phys and had his first personal training job. He moved to San Diego in 2000 and worked for the American College on Exercise, ACE, for about 5 years before starting his career at Fitness Quest 10 as a personal trainer and strength coach. That's down there with Todd Durkin, for those of you that also don't know that. He was there from about 2005 to 2011 and worked with clients of all ages and abilities. Since being in San Diego, he's completed some graduate work in biomechanics at San Diego State University, competed in multiple grappling tournaments, and has earned 10 additional certifications. That's quite an accomplishment. Doug's website is www.dbstrength.com. But first, I just want to let you know some new updates here at FPO and what's going on in the industry and some little news and updates. We have our new edition coming out. We have a new edition that comes out on the first of each month. A lot of great content coming. As most of you know, we release new articles weekly, let alone the new edition just as the features that we hold back, releasing them because they have a little bit more pizzazz and a little more timely for the additional use. Our editors are always hard at work. Special thanks out there to Darcy and Viju, who are editing the content on a daily basis. Those guys are amazing. Our event section is growing rapidly. We had a question come in the other day about why we don't have more international events. Well, simply, we just don't get any information on them. So if you're out there listening and you are overseas and you have an event going on that you would like us to share with the community, we're happy to do so. Check back into the forum. We've redesigned the forum. It's got a lot of information in there. Getting a lot of views on the forum, and the posts are continuing to grow. There are a lot of private forums on there, so if you are having problems getting into a private forum that you have been approved for, please send an email to the team here at info@fitnessprofessionalonline.com and we'll help you out with that. And I am sorry that all our mastermind groups are closed. We will have a new mastermind group scheduled to start in mid-October. So if you're interested in finding out more information on that one, please contact our Queen of Operations, Darcy Curry. And that's at darcy@fitnessprofessionalonline.com. Well, with that, I want to jump right into it. So let's go ahead and queue up the call with Doug.
So, Doug, give us a little background on how you got into the fitness industry and, in particular, how you started DBStrength.
Absolutely. First, thanks for having me, Doug. I appreciate it. Fitness, it's really been something that I've been involved in my whole life. You know, since I was growing up, I was playing soccer as soon as I could walk. So it was just a lifestyle that I always had, and it was always instilled with me since I was a little kid. Grew up on the East Coast. When I moved out west to San Diego, it's an area that's beautiful with the beaches and the sunshine year round. So just have to get outside and be active and move. And so I've just always been active and involved in fitness in some way. I got a job. My undergrad degree is in exercise science. So it's something that's always been a passion of mine. And then I worked at ACE, a certification company that I'm sure most people are familiar with, for about 5 years when I moved out west. And that's how I met Todd Durkin, the owner of Fitness Quest 10. And I worked there for almost the past 7 years, 6.5 years. I actually left there about a year ago. And while I was there, I started a little side project called DBStrength. It's about 2.5 years old. However, it's really just been in the past year that it's really starting to take shape, and I've been able to focus my time and energy on it. And really, DBStrength is my company. There's no brick and mortar structure. It's me as far as offering some personal training and some group training and some boot camp services to clients in the area. But it's also has an educational wing, if you will, where I have a blog and I do some writing and some videos. And I have another video coming out, if I can give a quick shameless plug, at the end of the year. So I'm working on some educational products there. I'm doing a little bit more speaking this year and hope to do even more next year. And then I have some distance learning opportunities on the site as well. So there's a lot of small projects going on, which which may be good and bad just because I don't focus my time completely in one area, but it's the way my brain works and it's what I like doing.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of us. And I got to tell everybody else that's listening, I saw Doug speak at URSA, and he did a great job. So if you see him on the list, he's a must-attend speaking event. And with that said, I obviously know a little bit more about your background and such, so I can lead this a little bit more. But you've had some, I guess, more recently, you've got more into mixed martial art training. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Well, I've been involved for about 5 years, but maybe thankfully with the success of some of my athletes, it's my notoriety's grown a little bit recently. But yeah, it's something I've been involved in for a few years. Like you said, yeah. How I got involved is actually through Fitness Quest, kind of a cool story. I got certified to be a trainer for TRX, suspension trainer, years ago. And they started to sponsor athletes. And their first sponsored professional athlete was a UFC fighter named Brandon Vera. And so they wanted, and he lives in San Diego, they wanted a TRX instructor to work with him. And lucky for me, I was one of them. And when I knew that they were looking for someone, I jumped at the chance. So Brandon was my first, and which was a great opportunity because he was a high-level pro athlete at the time. And so since then, that was about almost 5 years ago, he's a co-owner of a gym here in town. And through that relationship, I started to work with the whole fight team. And so I'm the head strength coach for that whole fight team now, where I work with, in a week, I'll work with 15 to 20 different pro fighters. So it's become a great opportunity. Yeah.
And what's the name of that club?
The Alliance Training Center, it's called. They're located in Chula Vista, which is down South San Diego.
Absolutely. Might as well give them a little plug too, especially if you're out there doing them. And so was that the reason you got involved with mixed martial arts and it kind of picked up from there, or is it something you were kind of interested in training beforehand?
Yeah, I was interested on a fan level. I watched the pay-per-views and all that, and it's a sport that's started to grow and it's just been booming. It's the fastest growing sport in the country right now. So I was a fan first, and then, when I knew I had the opportunity to work with Brandon, I jumped at that chance. I had done a little MMA training myself, done some grappling, some jiu-jitsu and things, but nothing major. So once I started to work with him and just saw the kind of work ethic that he had, and then subsequently the work ethic that these other athletes had, I got more involved and fell more in love with it. And both on a personal level, just training myself, but just working with these guys, and just did everything I could do in terms of education, attending workshops, getting some MMA specific certifications, reading books and getting DVDs and things like that, and reaching out to other strength coaches that were already in the field. And those things I mentioned, when people ask me, I get some new trainers that reach out to me and want to get more involved in a certain discipline, if you will, or follow a certain track or get a niche in the field. Those are the things I always tell them, reach out to people that have already done it, or do what you want to do and grill them with questions and things like that, befriend them. But the education, I think, is key. So like I said, attend workshops either online or in person, get some books, watch DVDs, whatever you can do, just immerse yourself in it. And that's what I did, and it's working out pretty well.
Absolutely. Well, you're proof of it. Hard work and education. You're making it happen, man. That's great. So, obviously it's a part of your business, but it's not everything. Who do you consider to be your target market, your target customer?
Good question. I kind of, if you look at my week's worth of work, it's really split in a couple of different ways. As far as clients go, at the end of the day, it's still the general population clients that pay my bills. I probably see 15 to 20 hours of general pop, if you will, clients a week. And then I have my MMA athletes that I train here locally. So as far as my target market for training, it's pretty split. I do a couple days a week, the pro team down there at Alliance. I have, like I said, about 15 to 20 hours a week of actual hands-on with clients, general pop clients. And then the other target market, if you will, would maybe just be trainers and coaches through my educational products. Or I don't really have products, but just educational articles, I should say, and videos that I post and things on my blog and on my website. So
no products yet.
Yeah, coming soon.
Yeah, maybe after this.
Right.
We'll be banging on your door, as they should. A lot of times we get a lot of new trainers that come on, people that have just entered the industry, and I know you've worked a lot with people like that. What for you was one of the biggest challenges starting out?
Well, I think when I went on my own, when I started to work with Todd at Fitness Quest, we actually had the luxury where Todd's one of the best trainers and speakers and just personalities in the industry. So when being a trainer there, we had the luxury of really not having to sell. People were coming to his door, looking for trainers. So once I went out on my own and left there, I definitely didn't want to burn a bridge or, sort of steal clients or say, hey, I'm leaving, come with me type of thing. Because I still have a great relationship with Todd and wanted to keep it professional. So I think the biggest challenge for me from a training standpoint was clients, to start to rebuild that base, if you will. And at the end of the day, it's still a challenge. Another challenge for me personally is, I have this DBStrength quote unquote business, but I'm really a one-man show. I mean, I have some support and things as far as web support and some referrals, nutritionists and chiropractor and things like that. But so being a one-man show and I don't have a home base. So I guess another challenge for me is not to have a brick and mortar structure. Don't have a home base to refer all my clients to. So I guess those would be two challenges, no space and just how do you build that client base.
Yeah, and the flip side of that, though, is you also don't have the overhead, right? And that's
absolutely, yeah. My monthly overhead bill is nice when I'm going to the park.
Absolutely, or vacation for that matter. That's fantastic. And leading off of that a little bit more, what would you consider one of the key components that's kind of led to your success? Obviously, you had a shot, you took it, and you're prepped for it. What above and beyond that, do you think led to your success and where you are today?
I would say, in a word, it's results. And what I mean by that is when we're a relationship business, I like to say. So when I'm working with a client, I want them to reach their goals. And I think that's what it's all about. So if I can help them reach their goals, i.e. get them results that they want, then I think that's going to lead to their success, which in turn leads to my success. Because if you can build that relationship and build that trust and have that connection with that client and help them reach their goals, they're going to be talking about you with their friends, their family, their coworkers. I love the quote. I don't know where I first heard it, but clients are your best business card. And if you can help a client, reach their goals and like I said at the beginning, get the results that they want, then the rest kind of takes care of itself. And that's really how it's happened for me. I don't put any outward marketing in there. I have a limited budget as far as that goes, but I use the wonderful world of social media with Twitter and Facebook and all that for articles and things like that. So I think just like I said at the beginning, if you can get clients where they want to be, then the rest kind of takes care of itself, and that's how it's worked out for me.
Well, absolutely, and luckily for you, not a lot of people do that.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of promises, not a lot of delivery. It's the name of industry, sadly, but people like you are delivering it. When we talk about things that are happening for you or things that are going in the industry, do you use technology a lot? You mentioned social media. Talk to me a little bit about what you're doing with that.
Yeah, I do use social media. I mean, like I said, kind of a one-man show, really. So I don't have any PR person or company hired to help me get clients or help buy my DVD or things like that. It's really all word of mouth. And what I mean by social media is just anytime I'm writing from an educational standpoint, if I'm shooting a video or if I'm writing an article, I'm putting it through all my social media channels. And when I say social media, I have my website, and then really there's Twitter and Facebook that I use the most. You can't beat the cost of those other than it takes a little, an hour a night of my time to, edit a video and throw something up. So I definitely use those. From a client standpoint, if I can get a testimonial or things like that from a client and I can post that, either whether it be pictures before and after or even just a quick video of someone speaking, I think the video is really, really powerful. I like to get some written ones now and then for the website and things like that, but a quick video testimonial. And some people it depends on the person. Some people love it. They just want to be in front of the camera. You got those types of excited clients. But if there's some that are shy, it's not for everyone. And I have no problem kind of rewarding someone. Say, hey, if I'm looking to get 2 more clients, if I can get a testimonial from you, I'd love to give you a free session, something like that. Reward them because, they're going to pay you back with that testimonial, which is powerful for the prospective client.
Absolutely. Are you just shooting those with your camera phone, or are you it's actually an HD camera? What are you doing with that?
Yeah, I have a little Kodak camera that I use. I started out with just my phone, then I went to a flip, and then I've upgraded, if you will, to spend a couple $100 on a little handheld camera that, plugs right into iMovie, and I do a quick little edit, and it's good to go. So it was all kind of learned by doing, and believe me, if I could figure it out, then anyone listening could figure it out.
That's the way I feel about a lot of things.
Technologically savvy, yeah.
You seem to pull it off, though, man. It's impressive. I know we talked about this. You're doing some diversify. You've done a little bit of online training. You're doing obviously growing your personal business. Where do you see yourself dedicating your time moving forward the next 6 months to a year?
Definitely a little more on the educational side of things. I think I always I say always. I don't ever see me not wanting to train some people. I kind of always want to keep my foot in the trenches, if you will. I love doing that. People ask me, who I like training better, the rough and tough professional athlete or the 50-year-old housewife. And I don't have an answer. I love both, and I love them for similar reasons. It's when they come in the door and they have a smile on their face, whether it's because the fighter just won his fight and, he thanks me for the training, or if it's the housewife who had to buy new pants because, she lost a couple pounds and that was her goal. So I love both aspects of that. So I always want to keep my foot in the trenches, so to speak. But I think I definitely want to get a little bit more into the educational side. And I think I mentioned it briefly, but present a little bit more, do a little bit more speaking on some of the circuits out there, just so I can share some of my experiences and hopefully help some new trainers and just point them in the right direction and give them some resources to help them be successful.
Absolutely. I hope you do that, man. You have a lot of great information to share. And so I hope that comes about. In going about that, Doug, and we've talked a number of times about different things, and in hearing you speak, you have a particular view with the article, especially that Megan wrote that was on Fitness Professional Online. Where do you see the educational industry going, or where do you see education going in our industry?
Probably going to do like every other industry, continuing a little trend online, I would assume. And I'm still kind of up in the air. I think it's good and bad. I mean, it's good for the convenience, of course. And as far as like online training, I do a bit of it on my site. It's not something I actively market. I have a couple of clients that I work with online that are actually overseas. So obviously that helps, makes it easy. So it's great for them. I think it's only good if your client is accountable and motivated. And at the end of the day, I like to say that this is personal training I'm referring to is a hands-on business. I think there's something to be said for that eye-to-eye contact, that interaction, that in-person interaction. Everything's going online. If I want to talk to my girlfriend around the room, I send her a text. I'm tired of the texting and the phones and everything, especially people driving everywhere, and it's just horrible. So that being said, I think from a convenience sake, and if those clients are going to be motivated and accountable, then I think that then there's some great value in there. Like I said, I have a couple overseas clients that I work with, and I have to stay on them. There's a lot of interaction back and forth via Skype like we're doing now, or via even emails, just where they have to fill out their logs to me and send them back on a weekly basis so I can help keep them accountable. Whenever I meet a new client, we go through a goal sheet and just the health history and all that. And I always ask them why they're coming to me or why they're looking for a trainer. And those two words, accountable and motivation, are two of the most popular reasons I get. They need someone to help hold them accountable, because if you're not there, they're not going to do it. And they need someone to help motivate them, and educate them to an extent as well, because they don't know what they're doing, or there's so much misinformation out there that they're confused by it all. And I don't blame them, because there is so much information out there. So I guess that's one kind of long answer, is that continued trend online. And I kind of touched on some pros and cons. I think from a training standpoint, I think it'll continue. I think it kind of it started in the last few years, but just more group training. I do some more of it as well. I still do some one-on-one training. There's some people out there that just offer group training, and I think it has a lot of benefits. Financially, it's more beneficial for the trainer, more beneficial for the client. And there's always a kind of a fun competition when there's a group. There's more camaraderie. They kind of push each other. If you're going to go train with, say 2 of your buddies, and you're just having a down day and just kind of feeling sluggish and slow, and you show up and your 2 buddies are working hard, it just instinctually you're going to start to push yourself a little bit more. So it has that fun, like I say, friendly competition. And I teach a boot camp a couple days a week, and there's never not a time when those people aren't smiling, having fun. And these people didn't know each other a couple months ago. So it just helps build that friendship. And it's that interactions, which is great. It gets us away from like I mentioned before, away from the cell phones and the technology, and just gets us out, gets us moving. So I think more group training, there's so many popular group training services out there nowadays with the CrossFit and boot camp and Zumba and spinning and you name it. So, I'm not particular to one or another. They all beat sitting on the couch eating bonbons. So if it's going to get people up and going, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Next time I'm in San Diego, I'm definitely going to try to swing by one of your group sessions, as long as you don't armbar
Heck
me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to get that promise first, though. That's awesome, man. You got so much going on. I'm so happy for you. What else am I missing? I mean, what else is going on with you, and what else do you want everybody else to know?
So much. Well, for me personally, like I said, I want to get more into the educational side of things. So Most of my educational things right now, at least for the rest of this year, are still geared a little bit more towards that MMA branch of DBStrength, if you will. So I'm actually going to be offering a workshop in October down at that gym at Alliance. It's kind of a hands-on workshop. That's going to be some PowerPoint presentation, but also hands-on. So it's a workshop that's the first weekend of October, on October 6th, that I'm working on now, actually working on the PowerPoint presentation this week, just trying to update it and get it ready to go. So it's top-notch. And then
I noticed you were approved for some NSCA CEUs for that as well.
Yes.
So if people are looking for those, they need to cruise on by.
Heck yeah, thanks. Yeah, I just got that approved. So yeah, that seems to be helping with sign up. So definitely want to be providing that good education. I've got another DVD coming out hopefully by the end of the year. It's the DVD world is, I say DVD world. DVDs are slowly kind of fading away, but so I think it's going to be a DVD project / digital download as well. I just got some editing to do, which seems to be taking longer than the actual filming does.
I know the feeling, man.
And that's how it goes, right? So I've got those two projects, and come 2013, like I said, gonna hopefully be out there speaking a little bit more. I'm hopefully at IRSA again. I'm going to be speaking at the ACE conference, which I believe is in May. And then some more online projects. We'll probably shift more towards just the digital download things, PDFs, some ebooks and things like that. More educational and more geared towards trainers, not just MMA specifically, but just personal training in general. So a lot of things on the horizon. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you should be. I don't know, you have a clone or you just don't sleep? I'm not sure yet, but you got a lot going on.
Caffeine.
Yeah, it's my friend too. Yeah. So for those of you listening, Doug's link will be in the show notes, dbstrength.com. Check it out. If you're around, listen to this. If you can get to the San Diego area, you can't beat a better venue. Go stop by a seminar, get some CE units, or just get the education. And if you can't make it there, if you're listening to this around the seas, we've got a lot of people listening to this all over the world. Pick up the DVD, get it now. And it sounds like in the future there'll be another one coming out. So get this one and move forward. Is that about right?
You got it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, hey, thank you. You're doing a great job. And thanks so much for being on the show today, Doug. Again, we'll put this all in the show notes for everybody listening. You can actually go on there and get direct links to Doug's website, more information. And then if that's okay with you, Doug, we'll link it to your Facebook page and people can reach out to you directly if they have any questions. And I don't know if you offer a mentorship or a mastermind type situation like I know Todd does, but you think like you'd be a great resource for people out there.
Yeah, no mentorship at the time, but definitely Facebook. I'm pretty active on social media, so anytime someone wants to ask me any questions or things, they can definitely connect with me there for sure.
There you go. You guys can all stalk Doug on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, it sounds like. Hey, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it, and let's touch base again soon.
Please do. Thank you so much.
What a great interview. Doug's up to so many good things. I mean, you think about it. Mixed martial art training is the cutting edge of the industry. There's so many young strength coaches and personal trainers trying to break into that industry, and Doug is just a wealth of information. So, Doug, if you're listening out there, thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to see what else you got going on, and I'm personally going to try to make it out to that October seminar. If you guys are out there, San Diego is beautiful, and it's a great time to take the family on a vacation. Get those CEUs. 0.4, I believe, with the NSCA. I'm sure Doug's got some other things in the mix, but just a great individual to connect with and a leader in our industry. So I really highly recommend checking that out. Please visit us at fitnessprofessionalonline.com. Get the latest industry news and updates. And other than that, that's a wrap for us today. So from Darcy, Viju, Aaron, Shannon, and myself here in the studio, have a healthy and productive week.
Thank you for listening to the Fitness Professional Online Radio Show. You can share your thoughts and join the discussion on this episode by going to our website or on facebook.com/fitproonline. Let us know what you'd like to hear on future shows. And please feel free to contact us via email or give us a call at 805-500-6893. We look forward to hearing from you.